Good morning, trading world. It is March 18th, 2022, 8:25 a.m., and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the SPY. The title for today's outlook is Roll, Baby, Roll. We have an extremely hard to read day ahead of us, and this is because of the rolls that are taking place. Some like to call it a quadruple witching day, and this just refers to the number of contracts that are rolling over on the day. What makes these days so hard to read is the volume and order flow. There is not just volume and order flow for the day, but there are millions of contracts being picked up and rolled out to later dates, which makes it extremely difficult to pattern order flow. Right now, looking at order flow, it seems extremely bullish with a clear path up to the high 440s. However, when you take order flow out of the equation, it seems pretty bearish and seems to want to head down to 430 and below. Another thing I wanted to point out is bonds versus yield. I said yesterday that this could possibly tip you off to the reversal or continuation because these two can't continue to flow in the same direction. Bonds started another leg down and sent yields higher. Bonds going to lows is not good for tech, and tech going down could drag the entire market down overall. We also have an outside chance of crushing vol down to the lower 20s. And if this happens, it says that we may hang around and chop on the upper end of this range some more. So those are the things to look out for today. Let me bring up the key levels to watch for today. All right, here we have the key levels of the day, starting on the resistance side. We have jack resistance at 436 to 437 area, queen resistance at 438 to 439 area, and king resistance at the 440 to 442 area. We're going to place a lot of emphasis around that 439 area, the previous close from yesterday. That's going to tell us a lot about today. On the support side, we have the jack support at 435 to 434 area. We have the queen support at 433 to 432 area, and the king support at 430 to 428 area. Going into today, the bias for today. The main thesis for today is bearish, closing below 439.70 with a projected low or target of 432 down to 429. The alternate thesis is bullish, closing above 439.70 with a projected high target of 439 to 442. The current channel we're in is all the way down to 425, all the way up to 453, with the minor channel that we're in right now going from 431 up to 443. Let's take a look at the scenarios for today. All right, here we have the first scenario, which is our trend day down structure, which starts off with a rally out of the cash open, headed back towards the previous close of yesterday, and somewhere around this previous close on or before we find resistance and roll over and get into our downtrend of the day or of the morning. We could possibly find our midday chop either around the queen or king support area, where we'll chop midday, start the second half with what looks to be a continuation down, but at some point a reversal and a pretty decent rally back the second half of the day. That's our trend day down structure. I'm not going to pay attention too much to probabilities today because everything is jumbled up because of this quadruple witching today. So it's very hard to read into the probabilities. Let's get to the next scenario. Scenario number 2 is our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push lower toward the jack or queen support area and find midday chop either around the queen or king support area. And finding our way to this midday chop area where the second half of the day we pretty much do the opposite. We go back up with pretty much the same amount of force we came down with during the morning trend. That is our rounded reversal day type structure. Something that I'm picking up on the hourly chart right now is that we have a huge chance for the vice versa scenario to happen. And the vice versa scenario is pretty much where we have a rounded reversal day, but just in the opposite direction, where we may come here first, chop up, and then come down. I will be paying attention to this because this carries more implication into next week. If we go up first and we come down past where we started, that's an implication that this could continue into next week. So I will be paying close attention to that on the rounded reversal day type structure. Let me bring up the last scenario. And here we have the last scenario, which is the expansive range day structure. We could look to set a decision area. Could be lower. There's a strong possibility for the vice versa today as well on the expansive range day. We could set a decision area lower, and this could happen before the open. And we could end up chopping higher and then coming back and pushing boundaries lower and kind of spending some time lower before we end up overall bouncing back toward the end of the day. Today is a day you need to be prepared for everything because, like I said, with all the rolls going over, or contract rolls, or quadruple witching going on, it is extremely hard to read order flow today. With that being said, as always, I would like to make sure that you always pay attention to your risk, because this is the type of environment that can actually push you to your limits, burning up an account in these type of market conditions. So it's extremely important that you know and understand your risk at every moment in this market. With that being said, as always, I like to wish you a positive trading day. I hope this helps. Oh, before I end today, I've gotten a lot of interest in what I actually did or do as far as trading. A lot of people asking me whether I am a prop trader. I'm not a prop trader, never been professional. I'm just a guy who has traded his own money for a while. I have an interesting fork in the road coming up. I have enjoyed this a whole lot. The pandemic kind of pushed me more to focus on the trading, but I do have another business, and I think I am about to take some vacation time at some point so that I can kind of make a decision, because it's time for me to kind of, my business has been ramping back up and getting back into it on a full-time basis. I've always traded pretty much for maybe the last 7 years or so, but just more so during the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, it's been more of a focus on trading and kind of publicizing the research that I do every day. So I may put out, I would like some feedback as to where I may be taking this here in the near future. 'Cause like I say, I've really enjoyed doing this. Getting the feedback, getting the opinions, because since the pandemic, this has pretty much been done in solitude, and I guess this is why I enjoy it so much, because it gives me an opportunity to converse with different traders, different people of different backgrounds. And I'm trying to kind of weigh up the decision to kind of step back private and focus on the other business that I have, or to continue doing what I do as far as publicizing the research, and maybe taking a bigger step out as far as publicizing the research and being more on the trading side of things. So that's the decision that I'm weighing on. I'm probably going to take some time here in the near future to kind of weigh things up and before I make that decision. But I would definitely like to hear some input from you guys that listen and send feedback every day as to what you all would like to see me do. So that's it. That was something that's been weighing on my mind, growing more and more the last couple of weeks. So I look forward to the feedback. Again, I hope this has helped. And as always, wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.